We finally made it to the last video in the series, and I gotta be honest, this is the hardest one to do because there are so many cards that I want to talk about. What's going on, you guys? Slim here to wrap up my small little mini series on pretty much the best cards that are coming back in Master Rule 5, and we saved XYZs for last. So yeah, we're going to talk about the top 5 XYZ monsters in all our opinions that are going to see play come April 1st. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Be sure to hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when I upload. And yeah, I'm gotta be honest, you guys, this was so hard because there are so many good XYZs, and narrowing it down to 5 is really hard. Normally, you guys know in a lot of my top 10s, tops, whatever, I don't really make them like that, but I wanted to kind of just deduce it down and see how you guys liked like smaller lists like this. And yeah, I gotta be honest, it was so hard. I'm gonna probably mention a ton of cards as well versus the ones that you'll see here on the screen, but these were the ones that unanimously between the community tab and Reddit and of course my own thoughts, these were the cards that we all agreed on, and I really do like this list. You may not all agree with some of the cards on here, but I guarantee they will see some play in some shape or form. But yeah, we'll get into it. They're in no particular order, so I'm gonna start with Abyss Dweller. So Dweller has been insane pretty much since it first came out. Like, everyone knows this. You know, the Mermail deck played it. Every deck that was a rank 4 deck played it. The fact that you could just turn off all graveyard effects is nuts. It is still played to this day. Salamangreat and Lunalight Orcus absolutely abuse this card. It is easily one of the most powerful XYZs in the game right now. Being able to stop Orcus from playing, being able to stop any graveyard-based deck from playing is ridiculous. The whole fact that, you know, Salamangreat basically can just make it in addition to everything else really does shut you down and you just lose the next turn. And a lot of decks that are making Dweller, like, you lose anyway because they make a Dweller, turn off your graveyard. If you're playing Orcus, you can't play, and literally they OTK you the next turn. It's pretty insane. I remember Sam had even gone as far as to ban this card, saying like how crazy this card was. And while I don't think it'll get banned, I could definitely see the reason why people would want this card gone. Being able to turn off, you know, the graveyard is nuts, but I think even in Master Rule 5, this card will be very strong. You know, being able to just have all your zones open and being able to put Abyss Dweller out anywhere you want, not even have to dedicate your extra monster zone is insane. So we definitely will see this card, I think, pretty much in every format because this card is just so strong. Being able to turn off the opponent's graveyard is ridiculous. So I definitely see this card coming back, especially because there's going to be Mermail decks coming back, like with the new Deep Sea Diva support. So you're going to see a lot of that coming back with Abyss Dweller. So I really like that. Next, I've got one that I think it's kind of weird that it doesn't get really talked about, and I was very surprised. So shout out to you guys first and foremost, all my subscribers, all my people on Reddit, like for real, because I actually completely forgot about this card, and it's Evilsworn Exciton Knight. Now, I know this card hasn't seen play in forever, but man, this card is nuts. Like, anyone who's been playing, do you guys remember when Honor Arc and this card came out? Like, this card was insane. It punishes players that overcommit to the field and overextend when they don't need to. And I really think that people will try to maybe use this card again because of how much players go over and beyond to overextend, build these crazy boards. You know, if you bait a couple negates and then you literally stick Exciton, you just blow up the entire board, and it's crazy. It's like, okay, your opponent doesn't take damage, but who cares if you wipe the whole board? Again, when it comes to XYZ strategies, I think this could be a card that people will probably experiment with, and I think that we will see a lot more play. I had to put it on this list, especially after the reasoning that you guys gave. So again, you guys may not agree with it, but I think this card could definitely see more play. Any kind of board wipe that, you know, punishes the opponent is crazy. I know we have cards like Nibiru, but it's like if you don't have Nibiru, you're able to get to 2/4s, and you're able to do this and just stick it. It's basically almost like an evenly match. It just gets everything off the board, so it's pretty crazy. I like this card a lot. I always loved Exciton Knight, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it coming back come April 1st when you're able to play more XYZs. I think that certain decks are really going to have to adapt, though, because the extra deck space is going to be tight, and that's something we'll talk about towards the end. Next, I've got Levier the Sea Dragon. I love this card. I have loved this card ever since I played Dino Rabbit. I have played it in Dark World. I've played it in any deck where I can make XYZ, like literally with that I can make a rank 3. Like, I literally love this card. It combos with all your banished stuff. Being able to reborn stuff is crazy, and I think that it's something that, you know, we're going to see. I know Burning Abyss is probably going to play it. I know any kind of rank 3 deck is going to play it. I think any deck that can play it will. I really, really like this card. It was brought up in some other videos how this was like a staple in the Madolche strategy. You know, you banish for Hootkay and then being able to bring back, you know, one of your guys is crazy. Just continue extending, and I think that's something we're going to see a lot more of. While not every deck can play it, the decks that do play level 3s and can play rank 3s will probably play it. It's probably one of the strongest rank 3s. If you're not playing Burning Abyss, you know, of course, Dante, but I really like Levier. It's so strong, and I think that we're definitely going to see more people playing it. The card has, like, you know, back in the past was so ridiculous. You know, you go Gold Sark for Rescue Rabbit, summon Tour Guide, and make, you know, summon your Sangan, XYZ into Levier back the Rabbit go off. Oh my god, it was just so crazy. I'm just remembering like all the crazy combos you could do with it. So I really hope this card does see play again. I used to love watching all the crazy combos people would come up with Levier, so I'm a huge fan of that. Next, of course, you guys should have voted, should have been on here, but of course, totally awesome. Now, man, where do I start with this? In addition to this, we could go as far to say Bahamut Shark, but I'm just sticking totally awesome because of the paleo players. The paleo players, the shark players, they're finally get to be able to play multiple toads without having to make Miss Starboy, and this card is nuts. Like, for those of you that played paleo back in the day, I did as well. This deck was crazy. Summoning multiple toads in a turn, or just setting up multiple toads over the course of like a couple turns, you just win the game like flat out. The opponent has to answer all that and deal with all your traps that become monsters again. It was so crazy. And in addition to playing, you know, a rank 4 deck that can, you know, make Bahamut Shark and then some totally awesome from the Bahamut Shark effect, we're going to see this card guaranteed. I think this is probably going to be the most played XYZ, especially in the water-based strategies. Again, since Paleo gets to come back, I think it's going to be pretty crazy to see what Totally Awesome can do. I absolutely love this card. I loved it ever since it came out. Even with its crazy name, I think this card is really cool. To shout out to all the Paleo players. This is definitely going to be your time to shine, to really try to do something. I know Paleo actually were still successful even in Link format, so I really want to see what's going to happen come April 1st when, you know, you're free to just do whatever, and I'm like super excited because I myself will probably pick Paleo up. I'm letting you guys know I'm going to have a ton of deck profiles coming soon because I'm picking up a lot of deck cores. I know as soon as we get a ban list, there's going to be a lot of deck profiles here on the channel, and Paleo will probably be one of them, so I'm super excited for that. And, you know, even if it's before April 1st, you know, we're going to prepare for now and prepare for later, and it's going to be great. So yeah. And last but not least, I have Tornado Dragon. So this was a little hard because I had to decide, okay, there's so many rank 4s, but it was brought up that as one of the most generic ones in addition to Abyss Dweller really is Tornado Dragon. Just being able to pop back row, quick effect is crazy. I think the card is really strong. It baits negates, it baits back row, it can do so many things. And as far as rank 4s go, it's one of the cards that a lot of players do play if they have the room to. You know, I thought about a lot of the other cards. I thought about, like, you know, not every deck is going to play Minerva, not every deck is going to play Evil Swarm Nightmare. Like, there's so many good rank 4s, but, you know, which one is generic enough to, you know, just get a job done? And it's literally Tornado Dragon, because you can just summon it off at 2/4s. You know, being able to pop back row is nice. It's strong in that sense, and I think it's definitely earned a spot here in the top 5, because I think if you look at this list, all these cards are pretty generic. That was the main thing, is it was really hard to bring it down to 5 XYZs because there's so many different ones you could play. You know, if you're playing Burning Abyss, of course you have Dante and Breaksword. I love Breaksword. I would have put Breaksword on this list, but I think mostly Burning Abyss will be playing that card. You have Lagia and Dolka if you're playing Dinosaur. If you're playing Dino Rabbit, like, you have those cards. If you're playing, I didn't put Dingirsu on here because, you know, you have, you know, Orcus can play that, you know, rank 8s can play that, but, you know, we're going to see that card anyway. You know, there are just so many good XYZ monsters. I didn't put Honor Arc on here or Castel because I know, like, other cards, you know, have kind of overpowered them, you know, over the years, Tornado Dragon being one of them, and I think that you know, Exciton Knight was the only one, the exception I wanted to make because it is a board wipe, which I really like. But overall, these were the XYZ monsters that I felt were going to be played the most come April 1st. And the thing is, we have to remember now that we're at the end of this series that we have a couple ban lists to go through. We have our January ban list, whenever it will be. It could be in a couple days. You'll probably see me in the car at work running out to go record it in my car because they decide to drop it every time I'm at work. We also will have probably another ban list before April or a ban list post-April. And, you know, we still have to play probably under a new list for Nationals. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens, you know, to the formats overall. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to give it one of these. It helps me out more than you know. If you're trying to purchase any of the cards I talked about or any cards that, you know, you've seen on the screen here today, feel free to use my TCG player link. It's down in the description below. A portion of what you spend, it goes back to the channel. It helps me out and I do appreciate it. And yeah, overall, you guys, this whole series, the whole point of this whole series has been, my God, I can't wait to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In April of 2020. Like, my God, it's so crazy. You guys can see I am just genuinely just so excited for what's going to happen. And now I know I still have to play in these formats, and I'm still going to play. I don't like the mentality people saying, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is worth playing until April. Yes, I understand you don't want to do it, but if you're still in this competitive mind state, you're still trying to go to locals, you're still trying to go to regionals, YCSs, whatever, you still got to play in this format. It's only for a couple months more, and then we get to go crazy in April, and I can't wait for it. But yeah, overall, those are my thoughts. I'd like to know yours in the comments below. I'm sure there are plenty of XYZs I did not mention, but be sure to mention them down there in the comments. We'll have a great conversation about it. But yeah, those are my thoughts, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.